Okay, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing today? Welcome to the Game Week 23 deadline stream. I have not done a deadline stream in a little bit. It's been a few weeks. I've been very, very busy. But we're back with one today, and I have made 3 transfers already midweek because of price changes and stuff. Let me just get everything up in case we get some sort of early team leaks. Very unlikely, but you never know. Let's get this up. Okay, I think we are good to go. We should be live, I believe. Just get the team leak accounts up. Just in case, you never know. You never know. Okay. We're indeed live. How you doing, Ash? Good to see you, man. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Get that up. Get the transfers up. Okay. Hey, mate, good luck this weekend. How you doing, Thomas? Good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. All sorted, all sorted, all sorted, all sorted. Hang on, I need to close this down. Close that down, close that down. I'm so unorganized, man, jeez. Okay. A-okay now. A-okay now. Starts with Hall, Kirkes, Munoz, and Milankovic. Yeah, similar situation to me. I have Hall, Kirkes, and Munoz. I'm starting Hall because I don't have... because I've got Mbumo. And I've also got Chris Wood. But if it depends. Do you have any of the attackers from any of the teams? Like, if you've got somebody playing against Kirkes, like, you've got Chris Wood and you've got Mbumo, or you've got a Bournemouth player, I think the best thing to do is just literally bench the defenders, because there's no point of playing attackers against defenders, seeing as it just minimizes your points potential. Like, my bench is really, really strong this week. It's really worrying how strong it is, but like, there's no point of playing Munoz because I've got Mbumo, and there's no point of playing Kirkes because I've got Chris Wood. But Sarr or Rodgers this week, I think I'd probably go with Rodgers, to be fair. It's very, very close, though. Ahmad or Rodgers? Rodgers for me this week. Bench one of Palmer, Sarr, Roger, and Mbumo. Rodgers against West Ham just looks too good, and I have Munoz against Mbumo. I mean, I'd probably bench Sarr, to be fair. I mean, Roger. I mean, if you've got, then again, if you've got Munoz, if you're playing Munoz, then you probably bench Mbumo. I don't know. I don't like benching penalty takers, though. I think you just have to try and maximize your team, where if you've got an attacker playing a defender, then you just bench those defenders. Like I say, I've got Kirkes and Munoz on the bench, who have got 2 pretty good fixtures. I'm just kind of going with the attackers this week, which could easily go against me, but I have Wisser, so bench Munoz and play Kirkes. I'd probably do that, yeah. I mean, Munoz could easily smash it this week. So could Kirkes. But I'm just kind of maximizing my points potential here. You've got Robinson on the bench too. Yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma this week. There's a lot of really, really good benches, and I'd play my bench boost, but I just feel like it's going to be more worth it in a double. Bench Palmer or Rodgers? I don't think I'd ever bench Palmer. I know it's City away, but they just don't look very good defensively. They did just lose midweek to PSG as well. I think Gakpo could be a better captain, considering he got a rest and Salah could come off for Chiesa. No, I mean, it's a very, very rogue move. I don't think I could go against Salah, though. I think he'd come off on like the 85th, maybe. I don't think Chiesa's going to take too many minutes off of him. Would you sell João Pedro and get Pickford, or sell Wood and keep Raya to get Gakpo? Sell João Pedro to get Pickford. Sell João Pedro to get Pickford. I mean, or sell Wood and keep Raya to get Gakpo. trying to work this one out. So, wait, you're using multiple transfers then, I assume? Selling João Pedro to get in Pickford? Or sell Wood and keep Raya? So you're basically selling Wood for Gakpo. Or you're using 2 free transfers to get rid of João Pedro to get Pickford in. I don't think you necessarily need to bring Pickford in this week. Because the doubles next week... I mean, they've not got the greatest fixture, do they, really? You have 4 free transfers? Yeah, I don't think it's worth bringing Pickford in this week. Who's your goalkeeper if you... if it's Raya, then I just play Raya against Wolves this week. They're probably likelier to keep a clean sheet. Very good position to have 4 free transfers. So I had 3 free transfers this week and I've used them all. I'm back to 0. But hopefully now I can just kind of roll them for a little bit and kind of enjoy the double with 3 Liverpool players. Let me just get that up. Okay. Trying to break into that top 100k this week. If anyone's wondering, my transfers were Gabriel out for Trent, Fernandez out for Eze, and then João Pedro out for Gakpo. Those were my transfers this week. We might get some early team leaks, to be fair. The fixtures are... there's quite a few 3 PM kickoffs. It'd be nice to get the Liverpool team leaks, because if Gakpo is benched for whatever reason, then I'll just play one of my defenders, I think. But it would be a little bit annoying, because I've literally just brought him in for the good fixtures. For the Ipswich at home and the double. Start Rodgers or Cunha? Rodgers, I think. I don't like benching penalty takers, but Arsenal away is probably one of the worst fixtures you could have this season. I don't know. Cunha's a little bit all over the place at the moment. Like, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? You know, you had all the stuff that kicked off in kind of like the last weekend. So, Rodgers or Wissa? Probably Rodgers. I think West Ham at home is a better fixture than Palace away. Brentford are notoriously not very good away from home, so... would you captain Isak or Salah? They're both really good shouts, to be fair. I'm going to go with Salah just because more points from a goal. I think Ipswich are a better team than Southampton, but I think as long as you... I don't think Isak's going to have 100% over 100% effective ownership. I think most people are going to captain Salah this week. I think it's quite risky to go against him because his effective ownership is going to be so high. If you could, would you bench boost this week? I can bench boost this week. I do have it. The bench looks really, really strong, but at the end of the day, I've just got attackers playing defenders. So even though it looks strong on paper, like if Mbeumo gets a goal, then Munoz doesn't get a clean sheet. If Wood gets a goal, then Kerkez doesn't get a clean sheet. So it looks really good, but if things go that way, then it could just like be 2 points for everyone. It probably is going to go really wrong this week. Like I've got such a benching dilemma, it's unreal. Like I can either go big on defense or big on attackers this week. Like I can play Kerkez and Munoz and bench and Mbeumo and Wood, and just play like a 5-3-2. But I always favor the attackers. I feel like the ceiling is a lot higher. Which defender should I bench, Kerkez or Milenkovic, as I've got Wood up front? I'd probably bench Kerkez then, just because it minimizes. Like I say, it's the same situation I've got this week. You just want to maximize your points, and like it all could go wrong. But if Forest win 1-0 and Wood scores, then you know it's you just got higher ceiling for points really. Is the Salah or Isak captain debate down to damage limitation and most other people captaining Salah so don't lose as much as of your bags? I think that's it this week. It's the same as next week as well. Like nobody's not going to be really captaining Salah next week because he's in a double game week, and most people are going to be triple captaining this. Like next week, I'm probably going to triple captain him. So I think for the next couple of weeks, it's just damage limitation. Yeah. Monkey Man, how you doing? Toppy, how you doing? Start DCL or Raul? Probably start Raul, to be fair. Like Man United are not a very good team at the moment, are they? They're literally a mid-table club. And then, if there are any Man United fans in the chat, I do apologise, but they are just a mid-table club at the moment. Like they don't scare teams like they used to, you know. So yeah, that's why I'm playing Robinson. I think Man United at home is a really good fixture. I think it's a really good fixture. But yeah, it's basically damage limitation for the captaincy this week. You could go against him. It's very risky because he probably will do well against Ipswich. But who would you bench? Gabriel, Hall, or Robinson? Who's your goalkeeper? Is it worth moving Castagna to Robinson? It's a bit sideways, to be fair. I probably wouldn't do it. It's more money, and I mean the fixtures are pretty good for Robinson. Like going forward, he's got 3 home fixtures in the next 4. You probably bench him in 24 against Newcastle away, especially if you've got Isak. But then Forest and Palace home are pretty good. And then Wolves, Brighton, like they're okay, but I think you've kind of missed. You probably missed the Robinson trade now. I think I'd just keep Castagna, and then you'll be getting rid of Castagna regardless when Thingy's back anyway, when he loses his spot. So Sells or Pickford? Probably Sells this week. I mean, he's the best goalkeeper in the league at the moment, isn't he? In terms of like clean sheets and saves. Who have Everton got? They've got Brighton away. Yeah, I think I'd do Sells this week. Bournemouth, I mean, I think Forest-Bournemouth is going to be a very good game. Obviously, as a Forest fan, I really hope we win, but I think it's going to be a very tough fixture. Bournemouth are very much our bogey team, so that's why I'm a little bit worried about it, but we'll see how we get on. Diaz or Shabbos? I think I'd probably go with the latter. I think Diaz might not even potentially start, so... Hey mate, good going. Wanted to suggest that in game week, when you are not doing a deadline stream, you could post your final team on Twitter or do a YouTube short. What do you think? Yeah, I probably will do that. I've just been very, very busy lately. I've been meaning to do deadline streams. I've just been so busy at the start of the year. I've had a lot of stuff on. But yeah, I mean, I should be back to normal deadline streams now anyway. But yeah, if that is the case, I probably will just pop it on Twitter. Is it worth bringing in Sells with his current upcoming fixtures? I have Raya and Flecken right now. No, I'd keep Raya. Raya's got really good fixtures coming up. Apart from the City at home fixture, he's got Leicester away, West Ham at home. I can't believe Forest away is a red fixture now. That's absolutely wild. It's marked 4 on the fixture scale. That is absolutely wild. But yeah, I just keep Raya, to be fair. Saul or Wood? Probably go Wood just because he's on penalties. I never liked benching penalty takers. Never liked benching penalty takers. I think there was one week a few weeks ago where I got like 3 goals from pens. Because before this week I had like 7 penalty takers. I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm down to 5 now. But is Bruno to Mbeumo worth doing? Yeah, I mean, Mbumo's got some really, really nice fixtures coming up. I mean, it's a bit of a luxury transfer, isn't it? Like, Palace away, how much better is that than Fulham away? But at the end of the day, Bruno's playing so deep now. You know, when I had him for the last few weeks, and he got a penalty last week, obviously. And I think he got the assist against Liverpool and stuff. But he creates a lot, and he's a bonus point magnet, but he plays so deep. So, I don't know. With how bad United are at the moment, I just kind of wanted to offload him. I think I've got relatively lucky with the points that I got out of him after the red card. But I didn't really like him in my team that much. He's a differential for sure, but just don't like how deep he's playing. Whereas Mbeumo is obviously having a ridiculously good season. And they've got some good fixtures coming up as well. So make sure to like the stream as well, guys, if you haven't already. It does really, really help out. See if we've got any team leaks. Why is Kirkes trending? Okay. No, he said he's not going to Liverpool. What do you think of Robinson, Bruno, and João Pedro to Trent, Sarr, and Gakpo keeping double Arsenal defence? Robinson, Bruno, and João Pedro to Trent, Sarr, and Gakpo. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind it. Keeping double Arsenal defence is very, very nice. I had to get rid of Gabriel this week for Trent, but just playing for the double. But yeah, I don't mind those transfers. They're not bad at all. I mean, those are all decent options this week, but Kulusevski punt. I mean, yeah, he's going to start. They've just got so many injuries that he can't. I don't know. Spurs just, I mean, they're just awful at the moment. They're just really... I mean, Kulusevski is the only Spurs player that's really been doing anything this season. And that's over, like, players like Son and stuff. Can't decide who to play, Hall or Robinson. Pickford is my keeper. Hall or Robinson, Pickford is your keeper. Probably Hall, just because... I mean, Hall might even get benched, to be fair. He did get hooked early in the last game on, like, the 60th minute. So he could even get benched, which is a little bit worrying. If he gets benched, he's probably out of my team next week, I'd say. Because after the Southampton fixture, they're not super ideal. I'd probably go with Hall, though, but like I say, if he gets benched, that's the only thing he might come on. That's the only worrying thing. You'd like to think he wouldn't. Welcome back. Thank you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Is it worth playing the free hit for the double game week? No, definitely not. Not when there's only one double. No, you want to attack a double with like loads of you want to attack a free hit with loads of doubles. Like last season, I attacked the big double in like 34 or whatever, when like Ben White got like 2 goals and Mateta got like 2, and yeah, I got like 100 and something points. That's why I finished like 500th in the world last season, because that double game week free hit, I went from like rank 6k to like rank 900th in the world, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're in like that kind of, when you're in the mix of it like that, there's a lot of points between them. So who to bench, Aina or Robinson? Probably bench Aina this week. I think Robinson's got a better fixture. Bournemouth away is a really, really tough fixture. Bournemouth have been playing really, really well. And even though we have one of the best defenses in the league, I don't know. I think it's going to be a KG 1-1 personally. I think it's going to be a KG 1-1. I'd take a point from Bournemouth away. I think they're one of the better teams we've played recently, barring Liverpool. With you only having 0.1 in the bank, have you been thinking about the assistant manager chip? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be probably getting rid of Lewis Hall in the near future and downgrade him to like a 4 point. I mean, thing about Hall is, I didn't really want him for the Southampton fit. I mean, Fulham at home's not too bad. I'm not going to be thinking about assistant manager for a while anyway. I think I'll be probably playing that later on in the season regardless, so I don't have to worry about it now. Right now, I'm just kind of worrying about game week 29, where it's probably going to be a blank. And I have 4 players from that blank that's obviously Newcastle and Palace. So if they do end up blanking, then I will have to obviously start getting rid of them. So I kind of want to think about that, but I might be getting rid of Lewis Hall next week anyway. And if so, I'll probably bring in like, I could even bring in Mikalenko and just properly go for the double. But I just don't really like having an Everton defender, because barring the double, it's just not great. Start one, Munoz, Kirkez, or Mikalenko. What attackers do you have? I love kebabs. The way I see it is, I mean, the way I'm doing it is I'm just benching the defenders that I've got attackers playing, because it just minimizes the points. Is it worth getting rid of Bruno this week for a -4? Probably not for a -4. Who are you thinking of bringing in? What's your initial transfer thoughts for game week 24? I think I'll just roll, to be fair. Like, I've got Trent, Salah, and Gakpo, so I've got my Liverpool triple up. I could bring in Mikalenko for somebody like Lewis Hall. But I just don't like the idea of owning an Everton player, because they're just, either side of the double, the fixtures are really bad. And you're only really bringing them in to attack that Leicester at home game. And if Leicester end up winning 1-0, you know, that's just, it's going to be going awful, so. Sell Hall, Aina, or Kirkez for Trent. Probably Aina to be... probably Hall or Aina. Probably Aina this week, though, because the Forest fixtures from a defensive point are just not great going forward. Chris Wood's fine, but I don't know. We've got a few tricky away fixtures coming up. Bench Sarr or Ahmad? Probably Ahmad this week. I think I heard you say you're a Forest fan. Where did you think you would finish at the start of the season? I am a Forest fan, yeah. I think at the start of the season, I said I'd take 14th, like 14th, 15th. I said, as long as we're not in a relegation battle, I'll be happy. I did not think we'd be 3rd in game week 23. Just, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But the thing is, like, the best thing about it was so many people just said we were, like, on a lucky run at the start of the season and we were going to drop off. We just haven't dropped off yet. Like, we're just still beating teams. Like, the Southampton one was tricky last week, but, I mean, the ref did not help us out at all. But yeah, as I've always said, though, I think I'd rather have the Europa Conference League than Champions League, which is a bit of a mad one to say, but we're just not going to win the Champions League. Whereas the Europa Conference League, we could do a West Ham and go and win it. And I think I'd much rather win the Europa Conference League than getting, like, bottom table in, like, near the bottom of the table in Champions League. Like, I'd just rather take the European trophy, so. Midfield, Alanga and Bumo Palmer, Salah, forwards, Mateta, Isak, Calvert-Lewin. So I'd probably bench Munoz. And I'd probably bench Munoz and Mikalenko. Yeah, I'd definitely start. If you don't have Chris Wood, I'd definitely start Kirkers. Do I see Gakpo as a long-term pick? Not really. I'm going to keep him for 23, 24, 25. And then I'll probably start thinking about getting rid of him. As a Liverpool fan, I'm not happy with Forest right now. Well, the thing is, I don't know if this is a crazy thing to say, but I think because there's so many teams having stinkers this season, apart from Liverpool, I think it could have been ours to win. But Liverpool have decided to absolutely smash it this season. But if it was like a Leicester where like everyone else was just playing terrible, could have had it. We could have had it this season. Obviously, it's not over yet, but you'll be 9 points clear once you beat Everton. So, Gordon to Mbumo for free? Definitely not this week. No, not with Southampton away. Based on performance, would you buy Pickford or Henderson, considering I have Wissa and Mbumo? I mean, I don't think you need Pickford this week. I don't think it's like Brighton away is not an easy fixture for Everton. I don't think it's worth bringing him in this week. Who's your current goalkeeper? I think so, Red Bull Volker. I mean, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get it. Sell Sanchez for Alisson for a free. Yeah, don't mind that at all. Sanchez, City away, Alisson, Ipswich at home, double, and then Wolves at home. Good afternoon, Sar or Ahmad. Probably play Sar this week. Hey, mate, would you do Foden to Mbumo for free? Yeah, don't mind that. Foden, you've absolutely smashed it, bringing him in. But the fixtures do look quite tricky going forward. He is definitely on a purple patch, without a doubt. But, as I say, the fixtures are, you know, he's got Chelsea, then he's got City, and then he's got Arsenal coming up. So, transfer Trent and Iwobi to Konate and Mbumo. Probably wouldn't do that this week. Not with Ipswich at home. Heading off now. Love the stream. Got a new subscriber. Will you be streaming up to the deadline? Yeah, I'll be up to the deadline. Yeah. Thank you, though, Lewis. Appreciate you subscribing, man. Based on performance, would you buy Pickford or... Yeah, like I say, Owen, who's your current goalkeeper at the moment? I don't think it's worth bringing it. Like, Pickford's not got a good fixture this week. Like, Brighton away is a tough one. I'd do that, Dan. Yeah, I'd definitely sell Sanchez for Alisson, 100%. For a free, definitely. Goalkeeper transfers are usually quite boring, but he's got a double coming up. And either side of that, they've got two really good home fixtures. João Pedro or Rodgers? Probably just João Pedro because he's on penalties, but I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers smashes it this week. I'll probably play Rodgers this week, FPL Football Hard over Sar. Sar's also got a good fixture, but I don't know. I feel like West Ham... I think Rodgers... It's a really tough one, to be fair. I feel like Rodgers will get... Like, Sar just came off on like the 60th, 70th minute or something, didn't he, recently? Eze, Rodgers, and Mbumo pick two. Depends on your defense. If you have any of those attackers playing a defender, then you bench the defender or the attacker. Like, I've got Mbumo playing Munoz, and I've got Chris Wood playing Kirkers. That's why I'm benching those two. Start Elanga or Semenyo? Probably... Elanga or Semenyo? Probably Semenyo, I'd say. Risk João Pedro to Gakpo for a -4. I don't think I'd do it for a -4. Because you can just do it for free next week, I assume. Because João Pedro is on penalties as well. Like, João Pedro is not... He's not been ideal. I mean, to be fair, he's been okay. He could have scored last week, but obviously there's a foul in the build-up. Before that, he'd got a couple of... Like, he got a penalty, a couple of assists. Mateta is stealing all the limelight recently. Yeah, he really is. I just don't really think I want to triple up on Palace, though, because, you know, they're probably going to blank in 29. So, I don't really want to be dealing with all that. Like, my transfer strategy is just dead ending into 30, dead ending into 29 and wildcarding in 30, by the way. So all my transfers from now on, I think, unless, I mean, there is that slight, isn't there like a slight chance that Fulham and Spurs, I've seen people talking about like Fulham and Spurs potentially doubling next week or something. Thoughts on Isak captaincy? I mean, I don't mind it, but I think it's just damage limitation this week. I think so many people are going to captain Salah. Bit of trivia for you. Who are the only two players to be Premier League record goal scorers for two separate clubs? Who are the only two players to be Premier League record goal scorers for two separate clubs? I think one of them's Chris Wood, isn't it? Isn't it for like Forest and Burnley? Or am I wrong? All three not playing each other? Okay, then I'd probably bench... I'd probably bench Rodgers, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it makes the Crystal Palace Brentford game a little bit more exciting if you bench Rodgers, because every time there's a goal, there's a good chance that one of those players will be involved in it. Thoughts on Isaac? Oh yeah, just read that. I love Foden. I have Foden playing against Sanchez. Should I prioritize Foden to Mbeumo or focus on a third Liverpool asset and do Sanchez to Alisson or Pedro to Gakpo for free? It depends how you see the fixtures. Do you think that it's if you're backing the clean sheet in the double, then obviously bring Alisson in. But if you don't think they're going to keep one and you want to bring in another attacker, then you obviously prioritize Gakpo. For me, I went Gakpo because I feel like they're not going to keep a clean sheet over the double. I think they're two pretty tough fixtures. Maybe against Everton, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth. I mean, they were lucky to not keep a clean. They were lucky to keep a clean sheet against Brentford. Like I don't know how Brentford did not score in that Liverpool game. I don't back Liverpool defense in a crazy amount. I really don't. Milenkovic or Robinson benched? Probably bench Milenkovic this week. I think Man United at home is a really good fixture for Robinson. Bench one, João Pedro, Wood or Rodgers? Probably Rodgers. Don't really like benching penalty takers. Wood is one, Forest and Burnley, and the other is Shearer, Newcastle and Blackburn. Yeah, I was thinking of saying Shearer, but I thought it was Wood, yeah. Got it completely right. Forest and Burnley as well. I have Bruno playing Robinson. What's your thoughts on playing João Pedro instead of one of them? Yeah, I'd probably just play João Pedro over Robinson if you've got Bruno. Because, like I say, it just limits the points. Because if Bruno scores, then Robinson, you know, he can get an attacking return, but he ain't going to get the clean sheet potential. It's just how you play it. Like, it obviously could all go wrong. Like, I'm playing Wood and Mbeumo. They could both blank, and Kerkez and Munoz could both get a clean sheet. Like, it could happen, and it could all go wrong. But I'm just kind of betting on the attackers. Play Robinson or Ahmad? Robinson. I'd rather play Robinson over Ahmad. I'd play Bruno over Robinson, but I'd play Robinson over Ahmad. Start Robinson or Hall? Probably Hall. Again, though, I think there is a slight potential chance that Hall does get benched, though, because he did get hooked early. He didn't play very well in the last fixture. It'd be great if we found that out, though, because it's one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So if we can get news on Newcastle, which, again, unlikely, but if we could get news on that, that'd be ideal. Because if Hall is benched, I'd probably just play... I don't even know. I'd probably play Kerkez. Maybe I don't even know. But yeah, I'd play Hall because Southampton away is such a good fixture for Newcastle. But there is the slightest chance that he does potentially get benched because of that. Apparently, though, no team has conceded less goals than Bournemouth in the last 10 games. Bournemouth are also undefeated under the Zabani and Hoyson centre-back partnership. Part of me does want to bench Chris Wood this week. Part of me does. Because Bournemouth are just so good. So part of me does want to play a 4-4-2 and play Kerkez instead of Wood. But I don't know, as a Forest fan, I feel like I just got to go with big Chris Wood, you know. Triple with Liverpool, 0 transfers left. Should I have Raul to go with -4 to Mateta? Other forwards are Wood and Isak. No, I don't think I'd do that, to be fair. I mean, Mateta's obviously been really good lately, and he is on penalties, but so is Raul. I don't think it's worth the -4 to Mateta. Because the thing is, you're probably going to be transferring Mateta out anyway when you get closer to game week 29, because they are most likely going to blank. What do you think about Bruno to Quiver and Lewis to Trent from -4 this week, or just roll? Have 2 free transfers and do Mateta, Wood to Gakpo. For a -4, I mean, Lewis to... See, I don't like getting rid of Bruno for a -4, but it's not like Quiver's got a terrible fixture. Or just roll, have 2 free transfers and do Mateta, Wood to Gakpo. Yeah, I mean, maybe Gakpo next. Can you not bring Trent in if you go for the second option at all? Play Pedro or Jackson? Pedro. Jackson's been so off it lately. I mean, Alexander, I think I spoke about it in a video. I think that Semenyo has better minutes and has more of a goal threat than I think Kluiver's got a lot of penalties this season, and I think that's what's made him like so sought after. but he only averages like 60 to 70 minutes a game. He only played 90 in the last game for the first time in a while. I definitely prefer Semenyo. I know they're the same price, and obviously you got penalties on Kluivert, but I prefer Semenyo personally. Would Isak, Mateta, and Salah, Palmer, Rogers, Gordon, and Konate, Gabriel, and Sells, do you think that'll do this week? Yeah, looks really good. Looks really good. Buy Mateta and Mbumo for Gordon and João Pedro game week 25. I mean, I don't mind it, but at the end of the day, remember that Mateta, it might be a transfer in, transfer out quite soon because they potentially could be blanking in 29 if Newcastle go through in the Cup. You're obviously fine bringing in a Crystal Palace player now because it's only game week 23 and it won't be until game week 29, but that's just something to think about. You don't want to triple up on Palace and Newcastle because then that's a lot of players you got to get rid of. But yeah, there could be a bit of a blanking situation in game week 29, so that's why I kind of want to start saving a few transfers after this week. I've kind of my plan is to attack the double next week and then just sort of dead end my team into game week 29 and then wildcard in 30. And then between 30 and 38, I'm just going to be using chips left, right, and center. Bench boost here, assistant manager there, free hit there. Hey mate, just like to say your vids are amazing. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude. Now, I can't bring Trent if I don't do the other option. My team is Dubravka, Gabriel, Robinson, Munoz, Palmer, Salah, Ahmad, Fernandez, Mateta, Wood, Isak, Flecken, Alanga, Lewis, Keane with 1 free transfer. I mean, I think about. I don't think you need Ahmad and Fernandez. I don't think you need 2 midfielder spots with Man United players. I think probably get rid of Fernandez, and then that'll allow you to probably bring in Trent and Gakpo, right? I assume. Wood to Gakpo or Raya to Alisson or none of them. I mean, Wood to Gakpo is not terrible this week. Was last season your highest ever finish? I think so. Let me double check. That's not that. Team details. It's not that. I think it was. Hang on. I forget where it is. Transfer history, isn't it? It's not. Where is it? It's I forget where it is. Oh, it's game week history. Yeah, 561's my highest ever finish. 764 was not too bad for my second season though. But yeah, 561's my highest ever finish. And I made a few mistakes last season as well. Like 561 is obviously an incredible finish, but I made a lot of mistakes last season as well, which is annoying because I could have finished better. But whose manager are you focusing on? I'm not really thinking about it at the moment. I'm not going to be playing my assistant manager till like at least game week 30 plus. So Gordon to Mbumo then. I don't think you need to do Gordon to Mbumo this week. He's got Southampton away. That's a really good fixture. Game week 23, better in João Pedro or Wood. Game week 23, better João Pedro or Wood. I mean, I'd say João Pedro has the easier fixture. Oh, Gordon to Mbumo next week. Yeah, don't mind that. I probably wouldn't play Ahmad over João Pedro, no. Start João Pedro or Rogers. I mean, they're both really good options this week. I'd probably just go with João Pedro because he's on the penalties, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Rogers does well this week. I need some team leaks, man. I need to see if Gakpo and Hall are both going to start. I don't think we'll get any team leaks, though. I feel like team leaks are just dried up now. Just absolutely disappeared. Apparently, Isak's been unwell this week, though. Late fitness test is needed. That's going to shake things up. Although I think it's a lie. Because how can you have a fitness test for being ill? Unless it's something to do with your lungs or something. Oh no, I wouldn't take notice of that. Wouldn't take notice of that. Robinson or João Pedro, who to start? Probably João Pedro. I always back the attacker. Thanks, mate. I wish you top 1k. Top 1k? I'd definitely take it. As long as I can finish in the top 100k. Top 100k, I think, is a really respectable season. Because you've got to think there's like millions of people that play this game now. Make sure to subscribe as well, guys, if you're brand new. We do try with these, try go live with these deadline streams every single week. Just hope that Raya helps me out this week. I've had to move my team around to keep an Arsenal defender, and he doesn't start helping me out, I'm going to be a little bit upset about it. Munoz or Robinson? It depends what attackers you have. If you have Mbumo, then I'd play Robinson. If not, I mean, they've both got ridiculous fixtures this week. They've both got good fixtures. Hey, mate, thoughts on Wood to Gakpo this week? Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's not a terrible. It's not a terrible transfer. Sol Palmer got in Diaz, got trashed by mates. Your thoughts on Palmer? I wouldn't sell Palmer personally. Why are people selling him? Is it like it's not like he's been playing bad? He's literally got 3 double-digit hauls in the last 5. He was really unlucky against Wolves as well. You know, he assisted Jackson, who scored, who was offside, and then he definitely should have got an assist, but Madueke stole the goal. So on another day, he gets 2 assists in that fixture. Probably gets another 10 points. But he's literally got 3 double-digit hauls, 2 double-digit hauls in the last 5. So I don't know why people are getting rid of him. Like City away is a tough fixture, but I don't know. He's got Southampton and Leicester in 27 and 28. And people are obviously going to be wanting to bring him in for that because he's just a really good captaincy option. For some reason this season is so hard compared to the last few seasons, or has it just always been this case? No, it is a tough season. I think they've done the prices really well this season. They've done the price really, really well this season. Like last season, you could have Palmer, Salah, Haaland, Trent, and like Mbumo, and just you could just have, because like Palmer was like 6 mil, so that's 4 mil gone there. Like Isak's more expensive. And some players are just having really good seasons as well. Like Wood's having a really good season. Mateta's started smashing it. You know, Forest are doing really well. Like nobody predicting this at the start of the season. Do I ever watch any other FPL YouTubers? Not really. I think back in the day before I made my channel, I used to watch Andy and stuff, but I haven't really watched many too lately. Chip strategy at the moment: dead end 29, wildcard 30. Thoughts on the assistant manager chip? When and who and when to play? I mean, I'm not going to be playing it until at least after game week 30. So right now it's hard to say because the table is going to change a lot by then, in like 7 game weeks at least. But in terms of my thoughts on it, I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm not a massive fan of the chip. I don't like the fact that you have to put money aside for it and stuff. And it's, I don't know, I feel like chips are supposed to help you out. And I get there's a lot of points, but having to spend money on a chip is just a little bit backwards in my opinion. For me, it would have made a lot more sense for it to be like your captain and vice captain both scored double that week. Or you can have 1 week where you change your captain to your vice captain midweek. So let's say like this week, Salah absolutely did nothing. And then Isak went and got a hat-trick. I'd be able to use my chip to change it midweek. I think that would have been a really good chip. Or having both your captain and vice captain scoring double points in 1 week. I think that would have been a much better chip than the assistant manager, because it is still a little bit confusing. Like a lot of people still don't really understand it that well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of it, but it is what it is. I also don't know how they're going to implement it next season, because you can't really play it. You can't really have it first game week, because you can play like, you can put it on someone that's going to be far down the table, like City, and you're guaranteed pretty much points if the fixture's decent. So, have you used triple captain when you're not? I'm going to be playing it next week, I think, for Salah. I haven't used it yet. Bench one of Aina, Robinson, and one of Ahmad, Semenyo, and Bumo Pedro. I'd probably bench Aina and Ahmad out of those options. Jackson for Gakpo or Raya for Alisson? I mean, it all depends on how you think the game week 4 fixture is going to go. If you don't think they're going to concede, then you go Alisson. If you think that they are going to concede, then you go Gakpo. I've gone Gakpo because I don't fancy the fixtures. I think Bournemouth will. I definitely think Bournemouth will score, and I think Everton's going to be a tough fixture because it's a derby. So I went Gakpo instead. I feel like there's a higher ceiling as well. Like with Alisson, if he concedes, it's it. He's going to get 1 or 2 points. He's never going to make that many saves. Bruno to Mbumo for a -4. Probably not a -4 this week, though. I like the idea of an after the whistle chip where you can make subs. Yeah, I mean, you can do that in, like, like other fantasy, can't you? In like Champions League and like in the Euros and stuff, you could do that. What were your transfers this week? Gabriel, Bruno, and João Pedro out for Trent, Eze, and Gakpo. So now I'm set up for the double, and should be good. Should be happy days. Should be happy days. Because I did want triple Liverpool for this fixture as well. Like Ipswich at home is such a good fixture to target for Liverpool. And then I've got them for the double. I've got them for Wolves at home, and then I'll start thinking about I'll probably offload Gakpo after Wolves at home. Because I mean, what are the fixtures like after that? Because obviously he's never guaranteed minutes and stuff. I mean, they're not terrible. Like he's got City and then Newcastle, which isn't great. But then Southampton at home in 28. I wouldn't mind him for that. And then Villa in 29. Could potentially blank though. And then some pretty nice fixtures after that. But yeah, I'll probably get rid of him after the Wolves game. Don't know who I'd bring in. Maybe João Pedro again. Don't know. His minutes have just been a lot better recently though. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on. It's a little bit of a gamble. Like Alisson's a lot safer. But I think his ceiling's a lot lower than Gakpo. Any news on when Saka will be fit again? I heard like February, March. I don't think it's something you need to worry about for a while though. If you were tight on money, how likely do you think you'd have been to have done Wood to Gakpo along with the other two moves? Yeah, I mean, I made these transfers Wednesday night because both Gakpo and Trent went up by 0.1. So that's why I kind of pulled the trigger early. But you're right. I mean, I don't think Wood to Gakpo is a bad transfer at all. And a lot of people are going to be making that transfer. Because like the Forest fixtures are not great. You know, Bournemouth and Fulham away are both tricky away games. Brighton at home is not easy. And then Newcastle away, Arsenal at home, City at home. I don't think I'll be keeping Wood for that long. I'll probably keep him for Bournemouth, Brighton, and Fulham. And probably get rid of him, maybe. I don't really need him for... But then Arsenal and City at home, like, could easily score against one of those teams. And then it's Ipswich away in 29. It's a tough one, really, with Wood. I think from a defensive standpoint, Forest aren't... It's not really something you should target at the moment. But... I'm really tempted to play risky Pedro Porro... to play risky Pedro Porro to Virgil and Foden to Son. Or play it safe with Trent and Mbumo. Same transfer out. I'd probably bring in Trent and Mbumo. I think you want Trent for that double, don't you, really? Robinson, Dunk, or Nico Williams start one? Robinson. So I'm going upon the decision, but I can't bring myself to get rid of Wood. Yeah, I don't think you need to get rid of him this week, but if you're bringing in Gakpo, like Ipswich at home is a better fixture than Bournemouth away. Like, it just is. And Liverpool are a better side than Forest. So, it's just, you know that Wood's going to play 90 or like 85. Gakpo... He did get a rest midweek. I think he'll get like 80 minutes maybe. 75 to 80. If he starts. I mean, if he doesn't start, I'll be very, very shocked. Because he didn't play midweek. Jota's out. The only other player that can play in front of him really is Darwin Núñez. And obviously he started midweek. I mean, Gakpo can play on the left as well. Instead of Diaz. So that also helps. But still nothing yet about any early team weeks. Best under 4.5 mil defender. Probably Huijsen for Bournemouth. I know they've got Liverpool at home coming up, but apart from that, the Bournemouth fixtures are really, really nice. And I think he's like 4.4. But they've got Southampton away and Wolves at home coming up. Really, really nice fixtures. And he's got an alright fixture in 29 as well. With Brentford at home, so... Thoughts on Son? He's just not really been... I mean, Spurs in general just haven't been very good this... I'm not going to be going anywhere near any Spurs players at the moment. Bournemouth's on form currently. Is it better to start Dean Henderson instead of Sells? I don't know. I mean, if you got Mbumo, then there's no point in starting Henderson. You may as well play Sells. But yeah, Bournemouth are really... Like, that's why it's going to be a really good fixture. Wolves against... Bournemouth against Forest. Which mid-price midfielder below 7 million can I sell Bruno to so I can afford Trent next week? Eze. Eze is really good. Good option. There's a lot of cheaper options as well, like Semenyo is solid. Obviously Rodgers if you don't have him. Ahmad. A lot of options. A lot of options under 7 mil. Depends how much money you need. I prefer Eze because the fixtures are really good, but Semenyo's fixtures are also decent, apart from Liverpool at home next week. 43 minutes until the deadline. Still no team leaks. I don't think we're going to get any, to be fair. I'd be surprised if we didn't get one, though, with all these fixtures. Thoughts on Isak captain? It's not bad, but I think Salah's... I just don't think it's a week you go against Salah, because he's going to... Like, his effective ownership is going to be nearly 200%, in my opinion. And so, if he bangs, it's going to hurt you a lot. Depends how risky you're playing it, man. Play your own game. If you think Isak does better than Salah this week, then go with Isak. I think Isak will do well. I just think Salah will do better. That's why I'm captaining Salah. Already have triple Liverpool, so what should I do with Sanchez? I mean, you could go... I mean, it depends. Like, if you want to attack the double, then you go Pickford. But if you want a goalkeeper with decent fixtures coming up, then you go like the Bournemouth keeper or the Palace keeper or something like that. It's a tough one, though. It's a tough one. There's quite a few goalkeeper options this season, so... Quavo or João Pedro? Probably prefer João Pedro this week. Start Rodgers, Jimenez, or Sarr. Jimenez just because he's on penalties. Should I let Sanchez stay then? I mean, I don't really like having a Chelsea... Like, I got rid of Colwell last week because I just do not like having a Chelsea defender. I mean, the fixtures... He's fine West Ham at home next week, but he's got... Chelsea have got 4 away fixtures in the next 3. And I don't think they keep a clean sheet in any of those fixtures. Potentially West Ham. Obviously, it'd be great to have him for Southampton and Leicester, but so far away. So, it's a bit of a luxury transfer, really. If you don't need, like, if you've got quite a few transfers in the bank rate, if you've got like 3 or so transfers, then yeah, maybe do it. But Savinho and João Pedro, or Gordon plus João Pedro, or Savinho and Gakpo. Probably Savinho and Gakpo just for the double. Rodgers or Sarr, Rodgers, Robinson or Mazraoui, Robinson. Fulham have played really well this season. I think I'd, unless it's Bruno Fernandes, I think I'd start Fulham players over any Man United asset. Rodgers and Sarr is a bit more tricky, but you have 3 free transfers and 5 mil in the bank. I mean, you could go Raya then if you wanted to. Like, Raya's got some really good fixtures coming up. Arsenal are still one of the best defenses in the league. What moves did I make? I did Gabriel to Trent. I did Bruno Fernandes to Eze. And then I did João Pedro to Gakpo. In hindsight, I feel like I probably potentially should have done Wood to Gakpo to save a bit of money. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Thoughts on Chalobah? I probably wouldn't go there myself. Cheers, bro, and good luck. Thank you, man. Good luck. Which 2 out of Trent, Van Dijk, and Luis Diaz? Well, I mean, Trent, definitely. So it's out of Van Dijk and Luis Diaz. I mean, it depends. Like, Van Dijk's a lot safer in terms of minutes than Luis Diaz. But also I think his points potential is a little bit lower. He's still a threat on corners and everything. But at the end of the day, it's how you think 24 is going to go. If you think they're going to keep 2 clean sheets, you go Van Dijk. If you think they're going to concede in both those fixtures, then you go Diaz. What about Souček? I probably wouldn't go there either. I mean, he's a massive differential, but... Depends how much of a differential you want to go. 38 minutes till the deadline. It's a bit weird having a 1:30 deadline this week. Would you sell Mitoma for Mbumo or delay it a week? I'd potentially delay it a week. I mean, Everton at home is a decent fixture for Mitoma. If he definitely starts anyway. I don't know what his minutes have been like. I've not really looked at Mitoma this season. He has just played back-to-back 90, and he's had 2 double-digit hauls. I'd probably just keep him. I assume you had him for both those double digits. Back-to-back 90s. Yeah, I'd probably just play him for Everton. It's still weird seeing Forest away as a red fixture. I just can't get my head around it. It's just bizarre. Would have been a green fixture last season. Thanks, mate. Start Jimenez or Pedro? See, that's a tough one because they both have penalties. They both have an alright fixture. I think I'd probably go with Pedro. I feel like Pedro is going to get more minutes than Jimenez this week. Do I have a chip strategy? Dead end into 29 and then wildcard in 30 at the moment. Wood and Rogers or Wisser and Mbumo? Probably Wisser and Mbumo, to be fair. I mean, Brentford's defense has been terrible, but their attackers have been like overperforming pretty well. So, had him for switch benched for United. Cheers. Or at least you got some of his points. But yeah, I'd probably start him one more week. Everton at home's not too bad. I'm just really, really worried about my bench this week. The bench just looks so good, man. Like 3 home fixtures. I hate it. I can't believe it's come to this. I hate having such a massive benching headache. Because next week, the fixtures aren't even that good for any of them, which is really annoying. Bench João Pedro or Ahmad? Probably Ahmad. Did you say Game Week 29 some blanks? Yeah, it's most likely going to be Newcastle and Palace. It's whoever wins in the Cup, and obviously Newcastle are 2-0 up against Arsenal, aren't they? And then I think Arsenal have to go to Newcastle. And Liverpool are 1-0 down to Spurs. So it's hard to call who the other team's going to be, what the other teams are that's going to be blanking. But I think it's a safe bet to probably say that Palace and Newcastle are blank in 29. Hey, mate, I have Canate, Robinson, Gabriel, Aina, Munoz. Which three to pick? I'm only sure about Canate. Who's your goalkeeper? But yeah, I'd probably. I mean, it depends on your attackers as well. If you've got like Mbumo playing Munoz, then I'd probably bench Munoz. If you've got a Bournemouth player playing Aina, I'd bench him. Depends on who your goalkeeper and attackers are. Ray is your goalkeeper. So double Arsenal defense. I know it's not been great lately. What attackers do you have? It's just trying to find the best route to like maximize your points. So if you've got forwards playing defenders, then it doesn't maximize your points. So you're trying to dodge that. Again, it could go wrong, but that's the way I've always played it. I always try my best not to play an attacker against a defender, which has gone wrong sometimes. But who to bench? Hall, Robinson, or Savinho? Probably Savinho, to be fair. Chelsea at home is a tough fixture, and there's no guarantee he starts. Whereas benching Hall and Robinson, I don't think is super ideal. 35 minutes till the deadline. Any team leaks at all? Doesn't look like it. Oh, apparently Gakpo starts. I don't know if this is a... Is this a legitimate account? It's followed by a few people. 4,700. I mean, this might be quite legit. So apparently Gakpo starts. If this is true, I don't know how they know that information, but it looks like a decent account, so that's nice to know. We've had a Newcastle leak, have we? I've not seen it on anything. Who's where are you finding that? I've seen predicted lineups, but I haven't seen the actual lineup. I have Trent, Aina, Robinson, Hall, and Kirkes. I need 3 to play. So you're playing Trent for sure. Oh, I see what you mean, Red Bull. Yeah. Definitely play Trent. Probably play Hall. And, I mean, it's between Robinson and Kirkes. It depends on your attackers. If you have Wood, then I'd play Robinson. But yeah, you're right. We do need a Newcastle league. I need to see if Hall's playing. I think all the predicted lineups have him starting. So But we'll see. I don't know if that Gakpo leak with him starting is true. I mean, I've not seen that account before, but it's followed by quite a few big accounts, so I assume it's correct. But yeah, apparently Gakpo starts, but we'll see. Gone are the days of getting like full team leaks like half an hour before the deadline. It's just a different world we live in right now, man. Yeah, you got Wood up front. Yeah, I'd probably bench Kirkez then. Because if Wood scores, then it just limits Kirkez's points, doesn't it? So bench Diaz, Wood, or Rodgers. I'd probably wait to see if we get a Liverpool team leak. Because Diaz, if he starts, it's a great fixture. But if he's benched, then obviously he's probably going to come on. So if you don't get any information about it, though, depends on your gut, man. If you think... I mean, Diaz has got the best fixture out of those three. So if we don't get a leak, I'd probably... I'm trying to think, will he start? He started in the champs, didn't he? So... yeah, I'd probably start Diaz and Wood, I'd think, and bench Rodgers. Raul Semenyo, Raul Sarr, or Semenyo Sarr? Raul and Semenyo. Maybe Raul and... I don't know. Yeah, probably Raul and Semenyo this week. Captain Isak. You're captaining Isak? Yeah, he's not a bad shout. I'm going for damage limitation this week. If I go against Salah, I know he will absolutely smash it, so... Bench 1, start 2, João Pedro, Rodgers, and Kluivert. I'd start João Pedro and... probably Kluivert as well. I mean, I don't like benching penalty takers. Because it's just an easy way to points. Bournemouth get a lot of penalties as well. Which is crazy because I think when Solanke was there, they just never ever got penalties. And now he's left, they're getting like... and they had like 3 in 1 week. Diaz didn't start. Should I play Kirkez or Ahmad? I prefer Kirkez to... well, but you got Wood up front. Probably play Ahmad then. My team is same as yours, except Pedro for Gakpo and Gordon for Eze. Yeah, not bad. I mean, I quite like my team this week. I'm a little bit worried about the bench, but play Van Heck or Robinson. Van Heck or Robinson. I think I prefer Robinson. I think his ceiling's a bit higher. I'm always going to be playing a defender that's got the most assists this season so far. Robinson, I mean, he's overperforming a lot, but he keeps getting assists, so... Who to bench, Rodgers or Mbumo? I'd probably bench Rodgers. Do not like benching penalty takers. Where are these leaks, man? I need these leaks, bro. I need these team leaks. We got left 30 minutes till the deadline. I don't know if it's happening. Need a hero to come along. Give us those team leaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, guys. If you're brand new, we try and go live with these deadline streams every week. Start for Mbumo or Diaz. I mean, Diaz has got the double coming up, but it's like... It's do you think he's going to play all these games? Still in a dilemma between Isak and Salah to captain. I mean, if you're trying to chase, then go Isak. If you're trying to defend, then go Salah. Keep Bruno or buy Mbumo. I mean, I prefer Mbumo to Bruno. Maybe not. Maybe you don't need to do it this week, but I don't know. I definitely prefer Mbumo to Bruno. They're both on penalties. I'd argue that Brentford are probably a better side than Man United at the moment as well, judging just on this season. I'll check for team leaks every couple of minutes, just in case. I feel like you guys will let me know, though, if we get any kind of team leaks. Still nothing. Which one to bench between Van Hecke, Digne, and Robinson? It's a really tough one. Maybe Van Hecke. I feel like Digne and Robinson, because they're fullbacks, they have a little bit of a higher ceiling. What's Digne's minutes been like lately? I know he's always a little bit of a meme player, isn't he? I mean, he played 45 against Arsenal. 75. It's just, do you think he's going to start? Maybe you go Van Hecke for safety. He didn't start that game. He came on, so... Yeah, I'd probably go Van Hecke just to be a little bit safer. I don't think it's worth risking it. Great fixture if he starts, but... Who to bench between Munoz, Robinson, and Aina? I'd probably bench Aina, to be fair. Go for the home fixtures. Trent, Munoz, Robinson, Milenkovic, which three would you start? I would start Trent, Munoz, and Robinson. But it all depends on your attackers. And who to bench between Raul, Sarr, and Martinelli? Probably Sarr. I mean, is Martinelli likely to start? I assume so. You can join the league as well, guys. The FPL Now League. It's on the left. B6FI52. If you want to join the league, I think we're over 1,000 people in the league now, which is pretty cool. 25 minutes. When you plan to play your triple captain? I think next week, to be fair. I think the ceiling for triple captaincy this season is going to be a lot lower. Because there's just a lot less doubles. And the doubles that we do have are not looking the best. I'm just going to do Salah next week. Just get it out of the way. How are you all doing? I did Raya to Allison and Jackson to João Pedro. Good moves on there. No, don't mind those moves. Don't mind those moves at all. Which one of Murphy and Bumo or Eze? To bench? Probably Murphy. Liverpool lineup leaks yet? I mean, there's one account that said that Gakpo starts. I don't know how reliable it is. It is followed by quite a few big accounts that I follow, so I assume it's correct, but that's the only, like, sniff that we've had at a leak right now. So nothing on any of the other games. Literally just the Gakpo. I mean, I'd expect Gakpo to start anyway because he missed midweek. So, I mean, Wood to Gakpo is not a terrible fixture at all. I mean, a terrible move at all. I don't mind it. In hindsight, I potentially should have done it, but he's just in such good form at the moment. Would you start Rodgers in a 3-5-2 or Raul in a 3-4-3? I'd probably start Raul over Rodgers just because he's on penalties. I just don't think we're going to get leaks anymore, really. And if we do, they're going to be very, very minimal. Bench Robinson or Porro? I'm probably start Porro this week. I don't know. The thing is, it's in Spurs fashion to lose to Leicester, isn't it, at home? It really is. I'd probably play Robinson. I feel like Robinson's ceiling is just high. I just don't trust Spurs at the moment. They're playing absolutely awful. And you got to think they're missing a lot of players. It's not even that it's a good fixture. They're just missing so many players from like everywhere. Like, they're missing a lot of the players from the back line, stuff like that. You should start Rodgers over Eze, just a gut feeling. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of 50-50s this week. Yeah, Rodgers could smash it. Eze could smash it. I really don't like my bench this week. It's just too good. Part of me really, really wants the bench boost, but it's just not worth it. True, I can see Leicester smashing Spurs, to be honest. Bench one, Konate, Hall, or Gabriel? Probably Gabriel, to be fair. Thoughts on, will he be able to perform well the same as Julian Alvarez for City? I don't know. It's one of those, like, when you come in from a different league to the Prem, it's just, I mean, every player says that, like, the Premier League is just a lot more fast-paced and stuff. So you're going to have to see how he does. I obviously wouldn't go there anywhere. I wouldn't go anywhere near him at the moment. And you've always got Haaland as well. So you just see how it goes. Just watch Watch from afar. Isak a doubt? I don't think he's a doubt. I saw something on Twitter saying that it was ill or something, but I don't. Like, I've only seen it being posted by one account, and all the comments were saying that it was trolling and stuff. So I don't think he's a doubt. If I go onto Twitter, Isak apparently has been training this week. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, he's been in training photos. Potentially he's been unwell, but it's from an account that's just not reliable at all. So I wouldn't worry about it. If you have Bruno, would you start Robinson or Aina? Don't have Bournemouth assets. If you don't have Bournemouth assets, I'd just start Aina then, yeah. I mean, Robinson could smash it against United, but you just go for the players that you don't have playing an attacker. Yes, your attackers play your defenders on the bench, so not an ideal scenario for a bench boost. Well, that's exactly it. Like, the fixture's just so good, but like, if I did bench boost and Wood goes and scores, then Kirkes might not get much. If Mbeumo goes and scores, then Munoz probably isn't going to get much. If I didn't have attackers playing defenders this week, I'd probably bench boost. I'd probably do it. But for me, it's going to be much more worth it to do in a double later on in the season. And I'm gonna wildcard in 30 anyway, so I'll properly sort it out then anyway. Like, I need to get rid of Ward as well and bring in Fabianski. Bench one, please. I mean, do you have Chris Wood? Vitas. If you have Chris Wood, then you bench Huijsen. If you don't, then I'd probably play him. Just back the home fixture. I mean, Bournemouth Forest could literally go either way. Like, it's going to be a really good game. I'm a bit worried about it. I think it's going to be one of the hardest games we've had in a very long time. Like, I'd put, apart from the Liverpool game, out of all the fixtures that we've won in the last, like, since we lost to City, I think Bournemouth is harder than Man United away. I think it's harder than Villa at home. Brentford away, maybe not, because they hadn't lost at home since then. Spurs at home 1-0. I mean, I would have expected to win that game. Everton, I would have expected to win. Wolves, I would have expected to win. Liverpool, like, I not expect to win that game. And then Southampton, you expect to win. So this Bournemouth away fixture, I think, is arguably the second hardest fixture we've had in the last, like, 8 or 9 game weeks. With all the rumours going around, you think we'll need to switch from vice-captain from Isak just in case? I mean, the only reason people are thinking that he's ill is because of one account that has been wrong all the time, like, been wrong most of the time in the past. And Salah's definitely starting anyway, so I don't think he needs to do it. When do you plan on using the manager chip, presumably after double 24? Probably after game week 30. Between 30 and 38, when all the doubles are. Raya, Robinson, Burn, Trent, Ahmad, Salah, Captain, Barmer, Rogers, Isak, Watkins, Wood on bench, Aina, Castagna, Turner. What changes would you do? I mean, I don't think you need to make any changes. I think that's a solid team this week. Are Everton players in mind for the double? I mean, the only one I could really go to is either Wood down to Calvert-Lewin or Hall down to Mikolenko. So maybe I might... The thing is, though, with Calvert-Lewin, I don't really want him for any of the other fixtures, barring that Leicester at home game. And Calvert-Lewin scored once in, like, the last 10 years. So I don't think it's really a player that way. Like, he scored one goal, you know, in I don't even know how many game weeks it's been, if I have a look. He scored one since game week 4. He scored one goal since game week 4. And he started every single game, barring the Bournemouth game. That's not a player I want to be bringing in. Like, I don't even care that he's got a double. One of them's against Liverpool at home. Yeah, the Leicester at home fixture's nice, but in that time, he's also played Leicester away. He's played Ipswich away. He's played Southampton away. He's played Wolves at home. They won 4-0. All he did was get an assist. Like, he's played a lot of teams where he should have scored, and he's got 3 goals this season, and he's on penalties. So 3 goals with penalties is absolutely wild. Last question: Salah to Mbeumo or Jimenez to Pedro to Gakpo? I don't think you need to do any of them this week, and then next week maybe take a look at it again, because you'll want triple Liverpool for the double. Is there any need to play Aina or double Fulham defense? I don't think you need to do double. No, I think it's fine the way it is. Ahmad or Palmer? Palmer. All day. Bench boost? Not this week. I've got attackers playing defenders, so it's not... It looks good on paper, but when you take a bigger look at it, it's attackers playing defenders, so it's just going to... It's a bit of a safety net, because if my attackers don't perform, then at least I've got the bench boost for the defenders, but I think I'd just rather play in double. We'll see what happens. Like, this could go really against me, because it's such a strong bench, but... I could, like, there's so many 50-50s. I can play either Rodgers or Reze. I could play either Kirkes or Chris Wood. I could play either Munoz or Mbumo. But I'm always going to go for an attacker. I'm always going to go for an attacker over a defender. Any suggestions from the 4.8 mil bench midfielders? I'll have a look. I mean, I don't think there's really that many options, is there? Under 4.7, do you say? I mean, you're not looking at a lot of options. You're looking at probably, I mean, I don't know. All the minutes are terrible for them. I don't like having a bench midfielder because there's just so many points in midfield. I don't really like having no money in one of my midfielders. I like all of my midfielders having, you know, 90 minutes most game weeks and stuff. Start Timber or use a transfer, someone cheaper. Who would you think about going to? Are you triple captaining next week or using the manager chip? I'll be triple captaining next week. I don't see the point of assistant manager next week because Liverpool are top. So, yeah, they'll probably win both their games, but there's also points for beating a team that's higher table position than you. So I think it's, I think one of the main factors of it just, I get that it's a double, but there's doubles later on in the season. If there's doubles ahead in the 30 to 38, the manager card will continue to 3 rounds. Could it be played with other chips? No, you can't play another chip when you're playing the assistant manager. So you have to kind of traverse it smartly. So I'm gonna dead end into 29. I'm gonna wildcard in 30, and then there's gonna be a few doubles in between 30 and 38. So I need to bench boost in one of them. I need to free hit in one of them, and then I need to assistant manager around that time as well. So I have to kind of plan it accordingly, but I'm not really worried about it yet because it's only game week 23. For long term, is it good to double Liverpool defense like Trent and Konate, Van Dijk, or by Gakpo? He might be rotated. I mean, Liverpool defense is really, really good for Ipswich at home and then Wolves at home, but I think the double is a bit tricky. I think Bournemouth away is a really tricky fixture, and then obviously they've got Everton away, which is a big derby. It depends. I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet in the double. So that's why I went for Gakpo. But if you think they're going to keep clean sheets, then you go for 2 defenders. For a lot of people, it's a lot easier to get to 2 defenders as well. Like, I had to kind of rip my team apart to bring in these players. Because I only had 1 Liverpool player. To bring Trent and Gakpo in, I had to kind of sort my team out. I had to use free transfers. So I did it for free, which was fine. I might not have done it if it was for a hit, but... Got 1 free transfer, just roll or make a transfer. I think it looks alright. 3.3 mil in the bank. I mean, maybe get rid of Winks. I don't really see the point of having Winks. But you'd probably just be benching whoever you brought in this week, wouldn't you? So, probably just roll. Save the transfer. And then you can properly attack the double next week. Any more team leagues, or any team leagues at all? Because we don't even know if the Gakpo one is correct. It's not looking likely. It ain't looking likely. Thanks, mate. No worries, bro. Make sure to like and subscribe as well, guys, if you're brand new. Going live with these deadline streams every week. Didn't miss any questions. Sar or Semenyo? This week, I kind of prefer Semenyo. I think he's a little bit more attacking. I don't know, it's tough because Forest is so good as well. Brentford at home's not a bad thing. Yeah, maybe so. Bench Bruno or Ahmad, or move Bruno from Mbumo. I'd always play Bruno over Ahmad just because he's on penalties and stuff, and he's a bonus point magnet. Start Rodgers or... I mean, I'd always like to start the penalty taker. Simon, I'd always like to start the penalty taker. Because you always have that in the back. Rodgers will probably have better minutes. He's probably got the better fixture. Wood to Gakpo is not a terrible fixture, no. I don't have a season ticket for Forest, no, unfortunately. Since we got into the Prem, I used to go to games all the time, but since we got into the Prem, it's like a lot more difficult to get tickets now. My cousin used to work there, so he used to get me tickets all the time, but he doesn't work there anymore. Nah, so I have to watch from afar. Should I sell Luis Diaz? For who? I don't know if I'd sell him before Ipswich at home. It's just whether he gets benched or not. I mean, Diaz is... I think Diaz has scored in like 7 or 8 Premier League games. Bournemouth have a good fixture starting game week 25. Should I bring in Kluivert or Semenyo? I prefer Semenyo, but... Call the stream in time. How you doing, Morosino? Welcome to the stream. Kirkez or Milenkovic? I prefer Kirkez. Much more of a threat. Although Milenkovic is a threat on corners and set pieces. And throw-ins. But it's not looking like we're going to get any leaks. So you're just going to have to go with your gut. Part of me wants to see a leak where like someone is benched so I can like play, because I just don't like the fact that my bench is so strong. And I'll keep going on about it, but it's just horrible. It's not fun. Why Robinson over Kirkez? Because I've got Chris Wood. What's with the Worcester incident, mate? Is he available this game week? I don't know. There has been a Worcester incident. What's the Worcester incident? Oh, will attend court in France this week for the trial of a woman who allegedly attacked him with acid. Attempted to kidnap his child. Jesus Christ, what? I have no idea. I assume he'll still play. Oh my god, jeez. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've not heard anything about that, literally. That's the first time I've heard about that. I used to have a season ticket 20 years ago, but family commitments took over T2C 54, I think. Are you Forest? Wait, are you are you a Forest fan as well? Would you sell Wood for Gakpo for 1 free transfer? Or use 2 to get Gakpo, so João Pedro to Gakpo and Timber to Kirkez, for example? It depends how much longer you're going to keep Wood for. If I mean, the fixtures aren't great for Forest going forward, but... Thoughts on the rumours that Isak is unwell this week and a late fitness check is needed? I'm not sure that's true. I mean, apparently it's come from one account that apparently is wrong all the time. So I don't know how much I trust that. I probably wouldn't captain him just cause. But I don't think it'd stop me like playing him at all. I think I'd definitely play him. I mean, because if he's unwell, he's just not going to be in the squad. So if he doesn't end up playing, then someone just comes off your bench anyway. I got Wood in, but fixtures are difficult. Diaz to Mbumo. I mean, I don't mind it, but Diaz has literally got Ipswich at home and then a double, so... No, I'm not seeing anything else about Isak. It's literally just from one account. I wouldn't read too much into it. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The fixtures are quite difficult for us, but it is what it is. Are you tempted to buy Rhea to Pickford for the double? Not really. I don't really like Everton players either side of the double at all. I'm a Forest fan. Took the European Cup back in 1980 when the team returned back at the airport. Oh, mate. Very jealous. Hello, bro. Wood or Ahmad bench one? Wood or Ahmad bench one? I'll probably bench Ahmad this week. Sells or Flecken? I got Wood and Einer and Kirkes. Sells or Flecken? I don't think Flecken keeps it clean. I'd probably just go Sells. Am I rolling till 29? I'm not rolling till 29, no. I literally use free. No. No, I think I'm going to be dead ending into 29, so I'm not bench boosting this week, no. I've got too many attackers playing defenders, so. Bruno or Rogers or João Pedro bench one. I'd probably bench Rogers. I don't think I'd ever bench penalty taker. Elanga or Ahmad or Munoz to start. Probably start Munoz, to be fair. I don't like starting defenders over attackers, but I feel like Elanga and Ahmad both have really tough fixtures. Bench one, Ahmad versus Sarr versus João Pedro. Probably bench Ahmad. Bench Whistler or Rogers. Well, I don't know, because this whole court thing that's just popped up, I'm not really sure. I think I'd still go with Rogers. I saw Bruno to Mbeumo, I think I'll cry. I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's a bad move. What happens if, let's say, Robinson gets a transfer to Liverpool this window in FPL, you already have 3 Liverpool players? So you'll have 4, but it won't let you transfer anybody else until you get rid of one of your Liverpool players. So obviously there's talks that like Kirkes might go to Liverpool. And if that's the case, I'll have 4 Liverpool players. But I won't be able to make a transfer until I get rid of a Liverpool player. Is Gakpo a better option over Wood, or would you rather have them both? I like having them both because Wood's obviously in really good form. And Gakpo's got the double coming up and everything. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good strikers. There's a lot of good strikers to have. Any Liverpool leaks? Not really. There's apparently an idea that Gakpo is starting from an account that I've not seen before, but it's followed by a lot of... Well, apparently Konate starts as well. I think this is a pretty reputable... I'm going to follow this account. Oh, I am following the account. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, so Konate and Gakpo starts then. I didn't realize I was already following the account. So Konate and Gakpo start. Diaz or Gakpo to start? Well, apparently Gakpo starts, so... basically hats him, yeah, basically. Is Gakpo a bet? Oh, I just read that. Diaz starting? I have no idea. I have no idea. But if Gakpo's starting and Salah's starting, then you have 1 spot left for Diaz or Darwin Núñez. So, start João Pedro or Ahmad? I'd start João Pedro. 5 minutes until the deadline, ladies and gents. If you have enjoyed the deadline stream, though, make sure to subscribe, leave a like. I'm trying to go live with these deadline streams every week. Trying to find these leaks, but there's none of the major accounts that I follow have posted anything about any leaks, barring Gakpo and Konate starting. Do you see the Forest and Cherries game being high scoring? I really don't, because they're both very good defensively. I don't think any team has conceded less goals than Bournemouth over the last, like, so many fixtures. And then Forest are also one of the best defenses in the league, so... I honestly, I could see it being 1-1, personally. Munoz or Kirkes or Robinson? It depends on your attackers. If you've got, like, an Mbeumo or a Chris Wood, then you start Robinson. Rogers or Sarr, one to start and one to bench. I'd probably start Rogers over Sarr this week. But it's very close. They're both very, very good. Both very, very good options. Mateta or Watkins? What? To bench, or which one are you going to transfer in? If you have both of them, then I'd definitely play them both this week. Oh, to transfer in. Probably Watkins, to be fair. He's got some really good fixtures coming up. To get my actual team value, do I halve whatever I have above 100 mil? So if my team value is 104. Yeah, basically. And Bruno and Pedro to Gakpo and Koiva. I don't think you need to do it this week, because Bruno and Pedro still have pretty okay fixtures. And they're both on penalties as well. Who do you think will start among Nunez or Diaz? It's a coin flip. It depends. I mean, Gakpo might start down the middle, and if he does, then Diaz will start. But if Gakpo starts on the left, then Nunez is going to start. Honestly, I don't know. Who played more in the Champions League, I guess? Maybe the player that played less minutes. I honestly couldn't tell you, man. I don't want to say anything because I'm probably going to be wrong. It's literally a 50-50. It's a coin flip. Rogers or Ahmad? Rogers. Who do you sell Gakpo for? I know made 3 transfers this week. I got rid of João Pedro this week. Because I wanted to bring Trent in as well. I could have just done Gabriel to Trent. Actually, no, I don't think I had the money. Yeah, I think I had the money for it. Yeah, I could have just done that. But I decided to bring Gakpo in as well just to attack. I could have waited, but... Diaz been striking, though. I don't think he scored in the last 8 league games or something like that. It's kind of mad how... When did he last score? Okay, no. So he scored 1 in the last 5, 3 in the last 7. 6, should I say. But before that, he hadn't scored since game week 5. So he scored 3 goals in the last 16 game weeks. Right? Yeah. So 3 goals in the last 16 game weeks. What's Gakpo's like? Gakpo scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6. Gakpo is scoring more, but you never know. Depends who's on it on their day. For 107 million for squad value, but loads value tied up in Salah and Aina. Yeah, and it's one of those, like, it improves your squad value, but you're never going to get rid of Salah, are you, really? Because even if he's out for a couple of weeks, it's still not worth it for the squad value. Darwin to start, I don't know. Gakpo and Konate confirmed to start, or leaked to start. So apart from that, there's literally 20 seconds left. Bench one of Raul, Saw, or Rogers. I'd probably bench... Saw. It's very, very difficult. Should I start Jackson? If you've got nobody else. If you've got, like, a better player. I mean, City away is a very tough fixture. Oh, we've got a minute till the deadline. I added it up wrong. I was off by a minute. We've still got a minute left. I did it wrong. Any more leaks, it's unlikely. I think there's not enough time to react to it anyway. 1 minute left. Get your transfers in. Make sure your captain's right. All that jazz. But I appreciate everybody stopping by today. If you have enjoyed the deadline stream, subscribe. Leave a like. Should be back for the next... When is the next one? Yeah, it's next Saturday. 12:30 deadline. Forest with the early... Oh, at least it's on TV. Nice. Best of luck, though, ladies and gents. We are about to be locked in. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. It's 25th. I don't know what the day is when you, like, when it's okay to stop saying it. Have a great weekend and you next week. Thank you very much, Monkey Man. You too, man. There we go, though. Deadline is past, ladies and gents. Deadline is past. Oh, I forgot to take a picture of my team. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Thank you all so much for coming out to the stream, though, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Hope you all get lots of points and green arrows. I'll catch you all in the next one. Much love. Stay safe. Take care. And peace.